Hey mate, hope you're going well. Today I want to talk to you about one of the biggest things holding you back from achieving the success that you know that you can and really just performing and succeeding at your full potential. And that is this unconscious fear of being labeled as arrogant. So somewhere along the way, you grew up being told how bad it is to be arrogant, or maybe at some point you were labeled as arrogant. And so this causes you to hold yourself back and not want to be too boastful or to be too confident or really put yourself out there. And it's one of the biggest causes for people to holding themselves back and not doing the things that they know that they should in order to achieve what they want to achieve. And so I just want to go through a couple definitions for you because this will make a lot of sense as to why this fear of being arrogant is actually false and why, in a satirical sort of way, you should actually want to be arrogant. So here's what I mean. So the first definition I want to go through before we get to arrogance is belief. So if we define belief, and then when you see it side by side with arrogance, you'll start to see why it's holding you back so much and why it's kind of a false fear. So the first thing is belief. And belief is, by definition, believing in something that is not yet proven, right? Because when something is proven, it's no longer a belief, it's knowledge. So that's the first thing that I want you to understand is just a belief is in something that is not yet proven. So when you believe that you can achieve something, or you believe that you'll get to your goal, or you believe in yourself to be able to get to that goal, you're essentially believing in something that is not yet proven. And then once it's proven, it then becomes knowledge. And this is kind of why I tell my clients to not believe in themselves. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Now, if we pair that side by side with the definition of arrogance, arrogance by definition is an exaggerated or over importance in yourself or in your own abilities. There's definitely two G's in that. Exaggerated importance of yourself or in your abilities. So that is the definition of arrogance. The over importance or the exaggeration of your own importance or in your abilities. And so what this is basically saying is if you are trying to achieve something that has not yet been proven, then in a way you kind of have to be arrogant by definition, right? Because you believe that you can achieve something that has not yet been achieved, that you have not yet proven to yourself or to the world. And so by definition, you kind of have to be arrogant because you are exaggerating your own abilities by saying that you can achieve something that you have not yet achieved. And so the problem with society is that essentially anyone who believes in themselves gets labeled as arrogant. And in my opinion, this is a massive problem. It's called tall poppy syndrome. It's where kind of society says, yeah, believe in yourself, you can do it, you can achieve anything. And then someone turns around and says, yeah, I actually do believe I'm the best, or I believe that I can achieve that. And then people say, oh, well, hang on, like, don't get ahead of yourself. So there's this real mismatch, right? I'm sure you've had it in your own experience where you show signs of confidence, you show signs of belief, you actually back yourself for once, and then people suddenly turn around and say, well, you know, settle down, you haven't proven it yet, or, you know, you haven't got there yet. And so, well, that is the definition of arrogance, and that is the definition of belief. And so I just kind of want to get this across to you because I think it certainly has really helped me. It's really helped all of my clients that I've shared this with that have had this kind of unconscious self-sabotage. I think this is really one of the root causes of self-sabotage and holding yourself back and not allowing yourself to be who you truly are and be, the best that you can possibly be and actually believe in yourself. And I think, if I go back to the point of people who actually believe in themselves are labeled as arrogant. If we just stay on that, that's what society does. People or society labels people who believe in themselves as arrogant. And you think about the people who have achieved the most in the world, whether we talk about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, in the sporting world, if we talk about Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos in the business world, or Steve Jobs, certainly all of those people have been labeled as arrogant, extremely full of themselves, exaggerated importance, believe in their own abilities. And it all ties back to this. They strongly believe in something that is not yet proven. And this is really hard for people to get over, because it's not just some random person on Instagram that calls you arrogant. And it's not just, some random troll on the internet. It's your close friends and family, right? That's the one that really hurts. When the people closest to you call you arrogant, that's what really hurts. That's what stays with you. That's what creates this unconscious self-sabotage, because you don't want to step out of line. You don't want to be different. You don't want to be special, or you don't want to believe in yourself or have confidence, because you'll be shut down. And so I think just understanding this is a really big breakthrough for a lot of people. And that's why, so again, I'll just write down so that you can write it down as well. But society labels people who believe in themselves as arrogant. And I think this is really important to understand, because it just kind of it allows you to prepare for it mentally. So if you know that if you are serious about achieving your full potential, if you're serious about achieving your goals, one, you must believe in something that is not yet proven. You have to believe in yourself to achieve something that you have not yet achieved. And so, because society labels people who believe in themselves as arrogant, you, at a certain point, you really have a choice. You can either not be labeled as arrogant, and which means you don't believe in yourself, you don't put yourself out there, you don't have confidence, you don't really chase your goals, you don't really do anything different than anyone else does, and you don't achieve anything that you really want to achieve, and you never really allow yourself to be who you truly are. That's option one. Option two is you chase down your goals with everything that you have. You be who you truly are, who you know that you are, and who you can be at your full potential. You achieve all the success in the world. You fully believe in yourself. You have confidence in what you're doing, and you believe in that thing that is not yet proven, whether that's performance on a golf course, whether that's in the boardroom, in your business as an entrepreneur. You have to believe in something that is not yet proven. That is the definition of achieving goals. You will be labeled as arrogant. You will be. That's option two. So you are either happy to not achieve anything and not be labeled as arrogant and stay safe, or achieve everything that you want to achieve and just understand that you will be labeled arrogant in the process. Because if I go back to all of these examples that I used before, Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James, Kobe, Steve Jobs, all these people that were labeled arrogant, extremely arrogant, they were all arrogant until they were right. They were all arrogant until they proved that they were right, that what they said 10 years before, they were right. When Kobe came into the league and said that he was going to be the best ever, arrogant. 10 years later, arguably one of the best ever. Michael Jordan, the same sort of story. Tiger Woods, the same story, right? His first, there's that famous interview where the first major event that he went to as a young kid, he said, I'm going out there to win. You don't come to a tournament not to win. And, you know, the interviewer said, like, you've got a lot to learn. And then he went and did it. And it's the same old story. Everyone is labeled arrogant until they're right. And so you can either accept that you're going to be called arrogant until you prove everyone wrong and prove yourself right. And I don't think that that's the right way to go about things. I don't think you do it for that reason, is what I'm trying to say. You do it because you still want to just achieve that thing, but understand you'll be labeled arrogant along the way. Or you can just stay in your comfort zone, keep self-sabotaging, keep holding yourself back, never be who you truly are, but you never get labeled arrogant. So, right, that's the sort of trade-off. So that's the lesson, that's the realization that I want to get across to you, is just, if you are trying to achieve something worthwhile, something meaningful, and you are truly trying to be the best that you can be, by definition, you have to believe in something that's not yet proven. By definition, you are arrogant in a way. And that's why I'm saying that if you understand that society labels people who believe in themselves as arrogant, then in all honesty, be arrogant. Because if you think about the people who call you arrogant, they're going to be in the same place, in the same town, doing the same job in 40 years' time. Are they really worth, you know, holding yourself back for? Are their opinions really that important compared to achieving everything that you want to achieve? It's not. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying that there is choices. There's cause and effect. And again, if you see being arrogant in like a joking way, I'm not talking about going and just being super boastful and in people's face and being really aggressive about it. I'm just saying, by definition, if we're saying that society labels people who believe in themselves as arrogant, then in a joking sort of way, yeah, be arrogant because you actually believe in yourself, right? I think this is why people don't believe in themselves, because this is what society does. They knock people on the head when they try to achieve something meaningful and worthwhile. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. This is what I help my clients with. If you want my help, then there's a link in the description where you can book a call with me and we can just see how I can help you with whether it's arrogance as one of your main mental barriers or something else that's holding you back from performing and succeeding at the level that you know that you can and should. You'll talk directly with me. There's no sales calls. There's no setters or anything like that. You get direct access to me. But I hope this helps. I know certainly if this is something that you have been holding yourself back for a very long time, and you know deep down that you're not being who you truly are and you're not achieving to the level that you know that you can and you should be at, this is probably one of the main reasons why. It's simply this unconscious fear of being labeled as arrogant because of all the way that society portrays arrogant people. But in actual fact, everyone who was once called arrogant actually went on to achieve incredible things. And it's just the choice between that trade-off of whether you are going to accept being called arrogant in the pursuit of achieving greatness and achieving something worthwhile and meaningful, or settle and just not be labeled as arrogant and just achieve what everyone else achieves. And I'm not saying that you should. I'm just showing you the cause and effect, and this is for the type of person who does want to achieve something meaningful and worthwhile, and really unlock their full potential and be the best that they can be. This is a big unlock for a lot of people. So anyway, that's it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.